And I wanted to do a little voice like this, hey.
Space porcupine.
Hey, what are you talking to me? What is what?
It's a pleasure to say I'm joined by Mr. Idris Elba. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, Benedict. How are you?
I'm very good. Now, I have to say, I'm a big fan of actors who have range. And I think for someone to be able to convincingly play a drug money launderer in Baltimore and Knuckles, that's range in my book. So, well done.
I'll take that compliment. Thank you very much. I love that.
It's a great voice you've picked for Knuckles. What kind of inspired it? It's quite like a regal voice you've got for him.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. It was sort of like born from conversations about where he comes from, what their language is, what it's like to speak English for the first time, or so we understand, and it not being his first language. And then coming from sort of immigrant parents who came to England, my parents would tend to put on a little bit of a voice, a little bit of and it just made them, I guess, sound a little bit more official, that they have a good command of the language. And that's why I sort of led with Knuckles.
Nice. So were there any alternative voices you sort of tried and threw away, or did you just go straight to that one?
Yeah, I wanted to, I tried sort of because he's impressive, isn't he?
Yeah.
Big head. And I wanted to do a little voice like this, hey. Okay, but then, it didn't work. And I sounded too much like Tails anyway. And, they just couldn't get their head around it. And then we tried, some, things that might slant his phrasing, inflection, miscalculation, how to speak. It's like, say, pass me the drink. Pass me the drink. I toyed with that.
I love that you were going to do like a Joe Pesci Knuckles for a while. I can't believe they didn't let you do that.
Hey, what are you talking to me? What is this? I just think that would have been really funny.
You've done a lot of accents and voices over the years. What do you think is the hardest one you've ever had to take on?
All the American ones.
Really?
They're often actually. Nelson Mandela he's so iconic. His voice, everyone knows what he sounds like. So to emulate that was like a challenge.
It's funny you say the American accent, because I feel like I see almost daily tweets from people, mostly Americans, who are like, Idris Elba is British? People are completely fooled by those accents.
Well, that's good to hear, man. I mean, I'm sure that there are many Americans who are going, of course he's British. Can't you hear it? But it's one of these things. I when I lived in America, my first gig with The Wire, I lived there, so I was sort of really part of the culture, and that really helps with the accent. And thus now I live in England, and doing an American accent for me is always like, whew, I get my head around it.
So if you could have lived with the echidnas for this film, it probably would have been quite immersive.
It would have been immersive. I would have been a giant. I'm not those people, literally a giant, but it would have definitely given me another layer of my character understanding.
Definitely. So you got a little boy, and he must be hyped that his dad is Knuckles. Or does he get it?
Knuckles, Sonic's in his he loves gaming, so he loves Sonic. But Knuckles is new to him. He's like, Knuckles. So I can't wait for him to see it, and tell me what he thinks.
What do you think you could play where he would be like, you've done it?
If I was to play a creeper in Minecraft.
From Minecraft?
He'd be like, what? What kind of creeper are you? Are you a good one? Because they're all bad, but some of them are good. They'd give me the full spiel.
Are you going to go to the Minecraft people and be like, I've got this take? He's like, hey, it's me, I'm a creeper. I talk like this.
But, each voice that gets put away with a hard no from the directors gets put into this tiny little wardrobe of potential voices for new characters. So in there is Squeaky Knuckles' voice.
Sure.
And Bad Inflection Man. Mm-hmm. I keep them close, man.
It's never wasted. It's always ready to come back.
It's never wasted.
Now, Jim Carrey is in this film. You might have missed him. He's quite subtle, but he pops up. Obviously, you were doing a voiceover role, but did you have a chance to bounce off Jim at all, or kind of chat through stuff with him?
No. That Jim stuff was already shot in real life, and mine was added much later. But it was genius to just watch him and his performance, and him make imaginary space for my voice to come in. That was like, whoa, Jim Carrey's actually waiting for me. But it was great watch him do that. I really love what you did with the, Tash for him. That's great, apt.
Oh yeah, no, I did this in tribute to him. I actually did, for the last Sonic movie, I interviewed him and he spent the entire time just making fun of my mustache. So it's full circle that you brought that up again.
I think it's a good mustache. I'm not making fun of it, but I thought it might have been an ode to the man himself.
In a way, it is deep down. Yeah. Yeah, like I said earlier, you've done such a range. You've been a good guy, you've been a bad guy, you've been an echidna. Is there anything you want to try that you've not tried before? I mean, obviously you've done a musical now. You did Cats. Would you do another musical?
I would do another musical, 100%, yeah, because I love music and I love singing, so maybe that would be a good one to do. I'd like to play a character that has no lines. And that sounds harder than it's harder than it sounds, probably, no pun. But I imagine that would be quite a challenge to be able to shift all the emotion that is needed from just my face and actions and body.
Well, what doesn't talk is the creeper from Minecraft. So, just saying.
But if he did talk, hey, what's going on? Did we get right into it?
I'm creeping here. Exactly. Before we wrap up, another project of yours that I have been a big fan of a long time, Luther, is coming back on the horizon. I assume you're sworn to secrecy in about 15 different ways, but if you had to sum up this new Luther movie in one word.
The word would be scale.
Scale, okay.
Yeah, but it's important that we keep the audience that have followed and loved Luther for 10 years, weirdly enough, 10 years, 5 seasons, into a new scale. And we want a new audience to just watch this movie for the first time, and of course the series, but go, wow, I'm in. Who's this character? Definitely. What's going on here? Sweet.
Well, I can't wait for that. Idris, it's been a pleasure. Love the movie. Have a great day.
You too, man. It's great talking to you, bro.
Our next guests need no introduction. They are literally out of this world. Say hello to Sonic the Hedgehog and his new buddy Tails.
Please, I'm going by Blue Justice now. Trademark pending.
Sorry, Blue Justice. So how is this film different from the first one?
And between takes, it gets weird.
And I'm in it.
And what do you bring to the table, Tails?
Tails tends to die a lot and then fly back in a few moments later. Show him what you can do.